I've worked a lot of jobs in my life.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
And for the past 4 years,
Thank you for our daily bread.
when the hardest times hit us all,
Amen.
I've worked to do my part to help families make it through.
There you go.
Paying off medical debt for 68,000 Georgians. Expanding access to vaccines. Bringing supplies to overwhelmed food banks. Lending a hand across our state, especially in rural Georgia. We help finance small businesses trying to stay afloat. And I spoke up for families being left behind. While my jobs have changed, what I know to be true has not. Our values are still strong. No matter where we come from in Georgia or how long we've been here, we believe in this place and our people. Folks who deserve to be seen and heard and have a voice. Because in the end, we are one Georgia. Regardless of the pandemic or the storms, the obstacles in our way or the forces determined to divide us. My job has been to put my head down and keep working toward one Georgia. For that farmer in Peach County, the teacher in Sparta, the mechanic in College Park, for our next generation who should have more than we can imagine. Because opportunity and success in Georgia shouldn't be determined by your zip code, background, or access to power. But if our Georgia is going to move to its next and greatest chapter, we're going to need leadership.
I think you'd make a really good governor. All you gotta do is stay tough and stay brave.
Thank you.
Leadership that knows how to do the job. Leadership that doesn't take credit without also taking responsibility. Leadership that understands the true pain folks are feeling and has real plans. That's the job of governor, to fight for one Georgia, our Georgia. And now it's time to get the job done.
That commercial that we just seen for Stacey Abrams running for governor here in Georgia, I think is, when Maxine Waters said, reclaiming my time, I believe that is exactly what Stacey Abrams is doing here in Georgia, especially with her recently lifting, assisting, being the voice, being the face for a lot of people who are volunteering to push for many votes to be put out for us to, have a change in the White House, have a change in our local seats. Stacey Abrams was the face for that. There were many people out here volunteering, but Stacey Abrams has been very vocal in pushing for people's rights to vote, for pushing in places where voters where there is a lot of voter suppression. This has been Stacey Abrams from day one. She's still been that person, been that girl, and I'm excited to see how this is going to, the whole campaign is gonna play out. I hope that we come out for this woman. I hope that we really show up and support her, because we see what happened in 2018, that loss, and she worked hard, she moved forward, she tried, and we still upheld her, and she still was doing the work on the ground with everyone else. And I want to see what happens as she runs, and I want to see the growth in that, because Governor Kemp is not
it.
There's a lot of words I could use right now, but he ain't. He's not what's up, and we saw what he did.
Giving.
Yeah, he's not giving what is supposed to be gave. We saw what he's done with the campaign. We saw so many times how he's put in or tries to put in laws in place that affect people of color and their voting rights. We saw what happened when he drug out Parker Cannon, a Representative Parker Cannon, who's a friend to the show, when she wanted to look him in his face as he was signing over bills that were taking away the rights for people that look like me and you, and their rights to vote. And this is the constant thing that we've been dealing with since we've had Governor Kemp, how he's been dealing with the pandemic, how he's dealt with, crisis when there's domestic terrorists here, how he's dealt with a lot of different issues, and there's been no true progress. It hasn't been, as Stacey has called it, one Georgia, even though, I'm saying, I ain't really with all of that, because everything, will it really be one Georgia? I don't know. But, it hasn't been inclusive with everyone in Georgia. And that's what we've seen. And I hope everybody that see this campaign, especially when she dropped it yesterday, like a Beyonce album out of nowhere, I hope that we all really back her and support her. I really do.
Yeah. Definitely agree. And she did drop that. I didn't even see that. I didn't even know she had that. I'm like, okay, Stacey. Like when I got the alert on my phone, it's just yes, Stacey Abrams has said that she will be running for governor. Okay, sister, let's get it. It's time. It's time again. We ain't gonna have no repeats of 2018. It is time to get Kemp's ass out of here. For real, for real.
In 2018, we had Donald Trump as president, and we knew those connections in especially the states as Georgia, Florida, we know Texas, those connections that Donald Trump had, especially with the leaders, who became governors, who became mayors of different towns, those people have all been like Governor Kemp, like literally, in these places. And we've seen the no progress. We've seen the movement in white supremacy. We've seen all of that literally grow. And the disrespect that happened in 2018 from the conservatives, from the Trump supporters who didn't like her. They called her all types of names. They called her a baby mama because she's a mother. She has a child. She's a single mama. All of that. They just went so hard to belittle her instead of make her qualified. The conversations were always disqualifying her, even in places where they were almost leaking into the black male community. I saw on Twitter as well, where they were having conversations saying that she was anti-men. And it was just like all these different conversations were taking place. And I'm like, we are missing the bigger picture here. She is somebody who was going to be good for Georgia, and I think that she's reclaiming her time. When people tried to define her, she stood her ground, and I know that it was a pain, and know that it was a hurt, but she stood her ground and was true to who she is. I'm reading a book called by Yvonne Orji called, what that book called?
Oh yeah,
it's right over there. I'm looking at it. I can't see the title. But I'm reading her book right now. And in the book, she talks about being who you are. And she, talks about it in a biblical way, where Paul turned into Saul turned into Paul when God fixed him and changed him around. But he went from killing folks and being this really terrible person, but change occurred and things like that. And, we go through life and we start off as this person and we become qualified. We go through life and we change and we do the work, not saying you had to be like Paul and go kill folks. We ain't on that.
Right.
But, in a way where you were somebody, you've been through life, there are a lot of ways that people want to judge you for, but you become this new person and you are who you are. You're qualified to be who you are. I know I spoke about this on the show before, but in the book, she talks about that and how Paul, when he becomes renewed, he says, I am who I am. Y'all not going to make me unqualified when I know I've done the work, when I know where my heart is, where I know where my feet are planted, when I know what the change is. I'm not just saying this because it's part of the campaign. You've seen me on the ground. You see me knock on doors, not for cameras, but because this is what I do. You see me, rally people together to get things done. You see me fight for the rights of everyone to vote, specifically people of color, specifically Black people, because we are targeted the most when it comes to voting suppression here in America. We have Cliff Albright, who is here in Georgia, who does the work and the fight every single day out here.
Every day.
Along with Park Cannon, along with Renita as well, Representative Renita Shannon, who is friends with them. So that whole group, they do the work every single day with the filibuster going on, all of these different things. And I know that Stacey Abrams will be great for us. I know that for sure.